Texas, where everything is bigger, including the political drama, has always been a state that captures the nation's attention. From its sprawling landscapes to its fiercely independent spirit, Texas is a place where the stakes are high and the spotlight never fades. Now, the Lone Star State is bracing for a Senate race that's already turning heads and promising to be one of the most closely watched contests in the country. The moment Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett announced her run, it was clear this wouldn't be business as usual. Her entry into the race sent shockwaves through both local and national political circles. Crockett, famous for her sharp wit and unapologetic style, isn't just running for a seat. She's aiming to shake up a state long dominated by Republicans. Her campaign is energizing voters who are hungry for change and eager to see new leadership. Enter Donald Trump, who wasted no time labeling her a low IQ person and a gift to Republicans. His comments, as always, were designed to provoke and dominate the headlines. Classic Trump: insult, dismiss, and try to define the narrative before his opponent can. It's a strategy that's worked for him before, but Crockett isn't backing down. In fact, Trump's attacks have only fueled the media frenzy, turning what might have been a typical Texas race into a national spectacle. News outlets across the country are now zeroing in on every twist and turn. The stakes: not just a Senate seat, but the direction of the country and the future of political discourse. Whoever wins will help shape the national conversation on issues that matter to millions. Crockett seems ready for the fight, challenging both Texas tradition and her own party's cautious instincts. Her strategy: go bold, meet the opposition head-on, and refuse to be intimidated by the old guard or the loudest voices in the room. She's betting that a fearless approach will not only energize her base, but also draw in new supporters, making this a race the whole country can't ignore. The Texas showdown is set. Styles, personalities, and philosophies are about to collide in a contest that could redefine what's possible in the Lone Star State. As the campaign heats up, Donald Trump finds himself thrust into the spotlight for reasons that go far beyond policy debates or campaign promises. This time, it's all thanks to an unexpected moment aboard Air Force One. During a routine press chat with reporters, Trump paused mid-sentence to scold someone about taking better care of the government plane, a rare, almost comical moment of concern from a man known for his bravado and showmanship. But just seconds later, as if on cue, a bathroom door swung open and bumped into him, catching him off guard and leaving him momentarily flustered in front of the cameras and reporters. Trump quickly recovered with a trademark grin, but the incident was already making the rounds online, turning into instant social media gold and fodder for late-night comedy shows. Critics and commentators seized on the moment, calling it a perfect metaphor. The man who projects total control, thrown off balance by something as mundane as a bathroom door. These unscripted, very human moments feed a growing narrative. Trump, once the unshakable image of strength and certainty, now appears more vulnerable, more susceptible to the unpredictable chaos of real life. For his opponents, it's yet another sign of chaos and disorder. For his loyal supporters, it's just another example of the media blowing things out of proportion, making a mountain out of a molehill. Still, the image lingers. A powerful figure, momentarily caught off guard by the small, everyday mishaps that remind us all of our own humanity. In the world of politics, perception is everything. Every slip, every stumble, every unscripted second can be magnified and replayed endlessly, shaping how a candidate is seen by millions. The Air Force One blooper is a lighthearted but telling reminder: no matter how high you fly or how powerful your position, you're never truly immune to life's little surprises and embarrassments. And in a race this tight, where every detail is scrutinized and every moment can be spun, even the smallest incidents can shape the biggest narratives and influence public opinion. The question now is whether these gaffes will ultimately humanize Trump in the eyes of voters, making him more relatable, or whether they'll undermine his carefully crafted image of strength and control. Either way, one thing is certain: the world is watching, and every moment, no matter how small, has the power to echo far beyond the campaign trail. Trump reignited debate over his mental fitness by boasting about taking a cognitive test, then awkwardly noting multiple doctors had to be present. Instead of projecting strength, the detail raised eyebrows. Why so many doctors for a simple test? Critics pounced, late-night hosts joked, and person, woman, man, camera, TV trended again. Trump's attempts to prove sharpness often backfire, exposing vulnerabilities his opponents exploit. For voters, the question of cognitive health is real, especially with candidates nearing 80. Trump's clumsy self-defense only ensures the issue will stay front and center as the campaign rolls on. While Trump's antics grab headlines, Crockett is making the Supreme Court a central issue in her campaign. She argues the Senate is the key to rebalancing a politicized judiciary, especially after recent conservative rulings. Crockett's mission: shift the Senate's makeup to protect voting rights, reproductive access, and health care. She frames her run as a battle for the soul of American law, not just Texas politics. Her message: if you're unhappy with the court's direction, the solution is at the ballot box. By tying her campaign to national issues, she aims to mobilize voters who feel powerless. Crockett wants Texans to see their vote as a stand for fundamental rights. It's a high-stakes, urgent call to action. Winning as a Democrat in Texas is tough, but Crockett is rewriting the playbook. Instead of chasing moderate Republicans, she's focused on energizing unregistered and infrequent Democratic voters. With only about half of Texans voting last cycle, she sees untapped potential in those who stayed home. Her planned massive voter registration and turnout drives, especially among young people and communities of color. Inspired by Georgia's recent Democratic wins, Crockett is betting on addition, not persuasion. It's a bold, high-risk strategy. Mobilize the base, don't water down the message. If it works, it could redraw the political map of Texas and beyond. Crockett's campaign is about unapologetically championing Democratic values and inspiring new voters. The goal proved that turnout, not moderation, is the key to victory. Republicans quickly labeled Crockett too divisive and out of touch for Texas. Their hope paint her as an extremist and scare off moderates. But Crockett isn't backing down. She points to recent Democratic wins in unlikely places as proof the old rules are changing. Her message: authenticity and a clear, bold platform can win, even in red territory. She argues voters want fighters, not watered-down centrists. Crockett's unapologetic style, called a liability by critics, is her biggest asset with supporters. The debate over electability is front and center. Play it safe or inspire the base. Crockett is betting on passion over caution. The question: will Texas voters see her as a risk or as the leader they've been waiting for? In Texas, immigration is always a flashpoint, and this race is no exception. The state's long, complex history with its southern border means every election season brings renewed debate, passionate protests, and high-stakes political maneuvering. For many Texans, the border isn't just a line on a map. It's a symbol of identity, security, and the values that define the nation. Trump and his allies push a hardline, America-first approach, framing immigration as a threat to American jobs, safety, and culture. Their message is clear: strong borders mean a strong nation, and any compromise is seen as weakness. Rallies echo with calls for tougher enforcement and promises to finish the wall, energizing supporters who feel the country's at a crossroads. Crockett, on the other hand, counters with a moral argument, condemning Trump's mass deportation plans and comparing them to the dark legacy of slave patrols, a provocative move meant to reframe the debate. She urges voters to see immigrants as people, not threats, and to remember America's history as a nation of newcomers. Her opponents call it divisive and accuse her of being soft on security, but Crockett wants to force a conversation about humanity and decency. She argues that compassion and safety aren't mutually exclusive, and that real solutions require empathy as well as enforcement. The clash is stark: nationalist control versus humanitarian compassion. Each side sees the stakes as existential, believing the future of the country hangs in the balance. The border becomes a stage for a much larger struggle over what kind of nation America wants to be. There's little middle ground, and the rhetoric is only heating up. Town halls erupt in argument, and social media is ablaze with fierce debate, reflecting just how deeply divided the country has become. Immigration has become a proxy for the nation's broader ideological divide, exposing rifts not just in policy, but in values and vision for the future. As the race intensifies, voters must choose between two fundamentally different visions for America, one rooted in exclusion and control, the other in inclusion and empathy. The decision is personal, emotional, and, for many, deeply consequential. The stakes are higher than ever. Not just border policy, but the very soul of the country is on the line. What happens in Texas will echo far beyond its borders. Texas is once again the battleground for America's identity, and the outcome here could shape the nation's future for years to come. The Texas Senate race is more than a local contest, it's a snapshot of America's political crossroads. Crockett's bold challenge and Trump's outsized presence set the stage for a battle of ideologies. The outcome will test whether mobilization can beat moderation in red states. It's also a test of party unity, as both Democrats and Republicans grapple with internal divisions. Can Crockett unite a diverse base? Can Republicans rally behind Trump's brand? The race is a bellwether for the future. Can progressive change win in conservative territory? As Texas goes, so may the nation. This isn't just a Senate race, it's a preview of America's political future.